It's been a rough ride for the world's biggest economies. Ahead of a crucial meeting on trade between leaders of the US and China at the end of the month, there are signs both sides may finally be steering away from months of cold standoff. A day after Chinese President Xi Jinping spoke of his commitment to globalization and multilateralism, he sent his Vice President Wang Qishan to an economic forum to reiterate his message and offer something more.
Both China and the US would love to see greater trade and economic cooperation. The Chinese side is ready to have discussions with the US on issues of mutual concern and work for a solution on trade acceptable to both sides.
Wang added that neither side stands to win from a trade war, while the global economy would be severely destabilized too. The two countries are also resuming talks on the military front. US Defense Secretary James Mattis and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo are set to hold talks with their Chinese counterparts in Washington on Friday. The meetings will focus on security in the South China Sea. But the focus is on how talks between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping will unfold on the sidelines of the G20 meetings in Buenos Aires. And they're widely seen as make or break. Laila Humairah, TRT World.
Well, for more on this story, let's bring in Hong Bo. She's a professor in financial economics at SOAS University of London. Welcome back to the program. So we've now got two top Chinese leaders basically extending an olive branch, wanting to engage in talks with the US over their trade war. I'm wondering, is this because China's economy is hurting more than America's because of this dispute?
I believe so. So I think this probably is the only way that China should take and to try to make a peaceful settlement for this trade war.
And Donald Trump, as we know, launched this trade war with China to correct what he described as unfair trade practices on Beijing's part. Can you just remind us, what are the major issues that Donald Trump has taken exception to, and do you believe Beijing is willing to address them?
Yeah, I think it's all started with the trade, imbalance between trade between China and the American. But now it is more complicated than the trade war. And I think on the Chinese side, they have taken advantage of their WTO status in international trade. And I believe China is now in a difficult position to fight back, because there is virtually not so much that China can use to fight back in terms of the trade. However, on the American side, I think they still have some measures that they can take it further. So I think under this situation, it is better for China to sit down with the American government and to talk about the solutions.
Interesting. We've also seen in recent weeks the Chinese leadership express its willingness to open more of its market to the world. We know that China has been notorious in protecting certain industries, including its financial sector, but now it's saying that it wants to open it up to more foreign investment and ownership. Do you think that that's a direct result of this trade war?
They have been saying the same thing, actually, in the past many years. But I think they now have the chance to do something and to put it into action in terms of releasing the restrictions regarding the foreign direct investment or the technological requirement on the technology from foreign enterprises.
Okay, and we know that these comments from the Chinese leadership come ahead of this highly anticipated G20 summit in Argentina, at which the US and China are expected to meet on the sidelines to try and negotiate this trade dispute. Do you think we'll see any sort of a breakthrough from this meeting at the end of the month?
In my view, I'm not that optimistic. I say this on the ground that we have seen a lot of volatilities in terms of the negotiation between the two sides. And I think President Donald Trump is taking, to me, it's a little bit a step, it's taking a strategy which gives the Chinese government some room to maneuver, and the American government is still waiting for the response from the Chinese government and see whether or not the Chinese government can meet the demand from the American government. It really depends on how much and what the Chinese government can offer to the American government.
I guess all will be revealed in a few weeks' time. Hong Bo in London, thank you again for your time.